Yeah, we do our thing. You know how we do it. We come through with the queens and kings. And I'm glad to be around. I'm glad that y'all here. I'm glad that y'all down. Talk about the walls in the halls. Talk about the balls in my drawers. Talk about this and that. We talk about childhood right now. And can you get with that? Childhood versus adulthood. I don't know what y'all talking about, but we could have a little conversation, and we're going to do that right now. And I'm glad, and I don't know how. What's going on, y'all? It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about no childhood versus no adulthood. No childhood versus no adulthood. What do you know about not having any childhood? What do you know about having to take on the responsibilities that an adult would, or seeing all kinds of things that a child should never see, or having to understand at a young age things that a child shouldn't have to even get into or be exposed to until they are a full-grown adult? What you know about it? Do you know about it? Be about it. Get involved. Well, we're gonna see about it. A lot of people claim to have never had a childhood, and they feel robbed when they think that they haven't had a childhood, which is kind of understandable, to be honest with you. But when you really take a look at what it means not to have a childhood, it's probably very subjective. It's going to be different for me than it would be for you. The things that I might qualify as having a childhood or not having a childhood might be totally different from how you look at it. And when we look at adulthood, what about not having any adulthood? You know, when a person is of legal age, way above 18, and still doesn't know how to act like an adult, perform like an adult, do the things that adults should know how to do. It could range from anything, like physical things, like not knowing how to drive a car, or not having your own place, or not paying your own bills, to not understanding what sacrifice is, or knowing how to exercise self-control, or make a sound decision, or have good judgment. There are a lot of things that can factor into not having any adulthood. And when it comes to not having any childhood or not having any adulthood, one of the things that both of those seem to have in common is that whoever is experiencing that, or saying that they didn't have one or the other, they're probably going to blame somebody else, probably starting with their parents. Starting with their parents first. You know, you robbed me of my childhood. I never got to watch the Saturday morning cartoons. Never got to be outside in the summertime, just hanging out, just doing things. I mean, it's an understandable thing, not having a childhood. A lot of child stars, child celebrities, children that you see on TV and the movies, many of them claim that they never had a childhood. They never got a chance to be a child. So, you know, when you think about that, whether you accept it or reject it, and we can talk about whether we should accept being a child star or child celebrity or whatever. We can talk about whether we can accept that that takes away your childhood and other things like it. What do you mean, who am I talking to, Angel? I'm talking to you. Like, y'all really don't, y'all think I should just start reading the comments like right out the gate, huh? That's interesting. But anyway, thanks for coming through, Angel. Yes, I am live. This is not a recorded show. No, it is a recorded show. I thought that, I knew that somebody named Angel would come through right in the beginning of the show. And so I premeditated that. And and T Carry right also. Thanks for coming through, y'all. All right, so like I was saying, you're probably gonna, okay, whether you accept being an adult, accept somebody robbing you of your childhood because you are a child star, child celebrity, whatever you want to call it, or an adult being robbed of their adulthood, That's a little bit more tricky because not too many people are going to accept that you don't know how to be an adult because you were spoiled or because nobody ever let you do anything by yourself, for yourself, or whatever. That's a little harder. The stakes are harder, and the criticism is a lot harsher when you grow up and you're really supposed to be in a position to take responsibility for others. It's kind of hard to get sympathy for not being able to be an adult. So that's what we're talking about tonight on the daily. It's the daily go get 'em. It's the daily go get 'em. It's the daily. The Warrior says reported stream for sexual content. Well, good luck with that because there is no sexual content on this show. But thanks for coming through and trolling. I appreciate that. I mean, what's a stream without some good trolling, you know? So he said gay singing. Oh, we got a real troll tonight. Oh, somebody needs some attention. Somebody needs some attention. I see. I see it. Yeah. Do y'all see somebody who needs some attention? I do. I say, do you see somebody who needs some attention? I do. I ain't mad at you. You're helping out the stream. You're coming through, really trying to change my dreams, but it really ain't going to work. Just like the tan on my shirt. You can't see me shit, you little shit stain. And I ain't going to do that. I'll refrain, you old nut ass nigga cornball. Okay, anyway, let's go. No adulthood versus no childhood. Or should I say, no childhood versus no adulthood. What do y'all know about it? Anybody out there, has anybody out there felt like they have been robbed of their childhood? I've known people who have said it. Like, you know, oh, I never got a chance to be a child. I had to grow up fast. You know, it could have been a situation where you had a lot of brothers and sisters, a lot of siblings. And, you know, maybe your parents passed away or weren't in a position to be able to take care of the kids. Maybe they weren't in a financial position. Maybe they were on drugs, or maybe they were sick. In any case, let's say you one of the older siblings and you didn't want your younger brothers and sisters to fall by the wayside and possibly be taken into foster care or whatever. So you might have stepped up to the plate when you were a young teenager and said, well, look, I'm gonna go to work. So, you know, I have to be the one to keep these lights on, the one to get my kids, get my baby brothers and sisters to school. I've known people who've done this stuff. I've known people who had to do it. You know, 14, 15 years old, they going to school and going to work, or dropped out of school for a little while because they had to get a job, because they had to keep the lights on. They had to keep the water flowing. They had to make sure there was heat in the house. They had to make sure that socks, shoes were on feet. Clothes were on bodies. Coats were on backs, and hats were on heads, and food was in mouths. And I can imagine how somebody would feel like their childhood was robbed of them, and when they had to take those kind of responsibilities. And you know, when I really started thinking about this topic, I thought about my mom at a young age. She had a lot of siblings, and she talks about how, you know, she had to always babysit them. She had to be responsible for them. She took a big part, a large role in raising them, and she resented it. And you know, I never really, when I was younger and she used to be talking about that kind of stuff, I never really thought about it. But then I thought about it like, wow. Graduated high school when she was like 16. Graduated early, and then she got up out of there. By 17 years old, she was like, I'm out of here. You know, and it is what it is. But I got to watch out for my mom, because sometimes she be, you know, sometimes that timeline don't be, you know, right and exact. But it's all good, man. This is the Daily Go Get It Business Show. Let's get it pop, pop. Pop, pop. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this the daily. It's the daily go getter mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right tonight. We talking about no childhood, but versus no adulthood tonight. What's good? What's good, my peoples? All right, let's talk. Let me introduce myself. My name is S to the okay. All right. So Angel Kostanov. Wait a minute, Kostadinov. What's good? And Nelson Kiki. And that other bum. All right, and Ganja King B, my man doing the best, talking to two people. Man, I wouldn't care if it says 0 people up there. You know, people watch this show after it's done. If you don't believe me, go check the numbers. So, however, let me tell you something. Let me tell all of y'all something. You know, I know that when y'all judge things by how many other people are there, I judge people by whether I'm there or not. So, because no matter whether it's one person there or it's 1,000 people there, I'm only going to do my thing. That's the way I think. So, when I used to do stand-up comedy, we couldn't always perform in front of hundreds of people or thousands of people. Sometimes it would be small rooms where the promoter didn't do his job and there weren't a lot of people there. So whether you performed in front of 5 people, 6 people, or 500 and 600 people, you got to be funny that day. So I came here to deliver a message to y'all. I came here to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, and it's going to be a dope show. It's going to be a hellified topic, and it's going to be deep. So no matter how many people are in here, you're not going to see that number get up to 100. It doesn't matter. What matters is, are you getting what you came to this channel for? That's what I would concentrate on, because I'm only going to concentrate on what I can deliver to you and get back from you. So I'm going to talk to you. You're going to talk to me back, and you have multiple ways to talk to me, because this is a totally interactive show. You can call into the show. If you would like to call in and state your opinion or laugh, cry, argue, fuss, fight, holler, scream, yell, curse, cuss, swear, you can call 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak, and then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number, and you can rock on it, do the damn, do the damn thing. This is the Daily Go Getterism Show. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. So I said, so we're talking about no childhood versus no adulthood. But let me finish shouting my people out, because y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all came to kick it with me. So I want you to know that I appreciate you. Matter of fact, ring the alarm. Ring the alarm on that. Yeah, you got it. All right. Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, Ma? And Miller Boys, thanks for coming through, Miller Boys. Appreciate you. And Peaches Only says, where are my Sigmas who are mewing to the looks max? Or are y'all just a bunch of Ohio NPC gooners? Damn, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about, but it sounds like some real shit. Miller Boy says, this is real life stuff. Wow. Okay, Star Smooth, I think, or that's Star Smooth. Says, what the hell is in Ohio? Yo, I'm glad you asked, because I don't know. I hope we break it down. Or she. Star Smooth says, can someone give the definition of an Ohio NPC gooner? Got nothing. San Antonio is in the house. Texas boys is in the house. That's what's up. Thanks for coming through. You appreciate it. And Mama Latina, that Mama Latina, that Mama Latina, the Mama appreciate you, Mama Latina. Thanks for coming through. And Big Ange, what's up, Ma? Salute to you. Thanks for coming back through, man. Miss you. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Naturalista Rap. A naturalista rap. What's up, Ma? What's good? All right. And hell yeah, 333. How are you? And Info Spot. Thanks for coming back through. Info Spot 411. What's your favorite Bob Marley song? No Woman, No Cry. No Woman, No Cry. My man GE. Thanks for coming through with Stacy White. Appreciate you. Always. Y'all ready to get dressed? Let's get dressed. We got to put on our uniform, y'all. For all of y'all who are new, let me put you on. Let me put you on. We get dressed on this show. It's time to put on our uniform. And I say we, and you'll figure that out in just a second. In just about 1 second. I'm gonna go with these. All right. So I got my shit on. Y'all ready? All right, I'ma let y'all choose between the right or the left. Which one y'all want to wear? The right or the left? Which one y'all want to wear? The right or the left? My right is your right. My left is your left. Which one you want to wear? The right or the left? Which y'all want to wear? The right or the left? Which y'all want to wear? The right or the left? My right is your right. My left is your left. Which one? These are cow bone beads, baby. Cow bone necklaces. This is real cow bone. Y'all can see it up close. You can see it up close. You see that shine? A moo had to go down for this. Which one y'all want? All right. The right. Okay, we got one for the Mama Latina says left. Naturalista says left. We got two for left. And one. We got three for left. Left is what it's going to be. Boom. There you go. Hold on to your love. All right. Let me get you outfitted there. Y'all looking good. Real good. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you the ocular proof. So you can see how y'all looking tonight. Looking nice. Looking spiffy. This is good shit. Boom. All right. Look at that. You see y'all looking good out there. Looking pretty, beautiful, lovely, elegant, sweet, sexy, handsome, debonair, suave. You know, very, very gentlemanly there. Yeah, take a screenshot. You will not see this on another broadcast. It's not a podcast because we do it live. You will not see this on another channel. We get it down like that. All right, let's go. So we're talking about no childhood versus no adulthood. What do y'all know about somebody or yourself about not having a childhood? And what does it mean not to have a childhood? Up until the day that he died, people always said that Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood. Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood. He didn't have a childhood because he had to work. Because he was on the road. Because he had responsibilities to take care of. Because he was acting, him and his brothers were acting as the breadwinner for their family, for their generations. Really? So they say that, you know, one thing about Michael Jackson that's stuck in everybody's mind is that he didn't have a childhood. But do you agree with that? Because every time I listen to that, to me it sounded like I ain't gonna lie, it sounded like an excuse to me to excuse his behavior when he got accused of something, or when he said something crazy, or when he just didn't do something. That's what it sounded like to me, you know. But I also had to take the psychological part of it into consideration. And I don't know what it's like to have to, go on tour and practice every day and be good. Not just because my father was making me do it, but because I got a record company owner. My brothers in the band are counting on me because I'm the lead singer. We going on all these dates. We have all these appointments. It's not easy. Like, we see the commercial part, and we see the wealth and the fame that these celebrities have, but we have no idea of how many late nights that they're up, how much responsibility that it takes, how hard it is for them to keep their mind on their money because they're so busy being on stage and trying to build something, and they're getting robbed by managers and handlers, and there's all kinds of stuff involved with it. So as a child star, how old was Michael Jackson when he got started? About nine, somewhere between 9 and 11, right? Out there auditioning. He liked to be out on stage. He loved to sing, but there's a difference between wanting and liking to sing on your own and having to do it because these records have to sell this much, and because my family, the younger ones, and even the older ones are depending on me. And my dad might whoop my ass. You know what I mean? He wouldn't let me. Here I am making all of this money for the family, and he wouldn't even let me play with my friend the rat. Yo, Ben. I said, Ben, you are a favorite friend to me. I said, I couldn't even have a friend rat named Ben, but you want me to make money to spend? Got you out of Gary, Indiana, and I couldn't even play with my rat. What's up with that? All I wanted to do have a mouse in the house, and I couldn't even have that. Had a effect on my spouse. And I'm marrying girls just for the look, because when I was a young boy, yeah, I was shook. Yeah, I don't know. So, but a lot of people, what do y'all think? Y'all think Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood? Now, I'm thinking, from my point of view, I'm thinking that he still had a childhood because he was a child. So no matter what he had to do, he had to look at it through the lenses of a child. He couldn't look at it through the lenses of an adult. And I'm sure that somebody out there, looked at him as a child and treated him as one. But I'm saying that from the outside looking in. Evidently, a lot of people sympathize and empathize with his struggle. And I empathize with it too. But, him and other people, Gary Coleman, same thing. Child stars had to get it in at a young age. What do y'all think? All right, let me go back up in the comments. Star Smart says, oh, that's what's up. Star Smart said, I'm just glad I'm unique and picking right. You know what? I give you the triangle for that because I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Like, I'm feeling that. 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 Be independent. Feeling that. Yeah, that's real in that. Feeling that. Yeah. She picked right. That was the right choice tonight. She didn't go along with the crowd. And I appreciate independent. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. You're never going to see another. You're never going to see another channel that has a triangle. If they come up with a triangle, come on now. They bit my shit. Let's go. But okay, let's go. All right, Keith Tyler. Oh, my man Keith Tyler's in the house. What's going on, my brother? My brother Keith Tyler is in the house. All right, I wanted to see what y'all had to say about this. Okay, Running Man says something. Hold on. What did I do? Okay. Hold on. I lost my man, running man. Make sure I didn't delete his comment. Gotta watch your fingers on this thing. Hell yeah, 333. Thanks for coming through. All right, hold on. All right. Let me get to it. Keith Tyler says, we all had a childhood. It may not be what we wanted, but we did. That's what I say, but a lot of people say, nah. Okay, let me ask y'all this. What is having a childhood to y'all? Was it all, Saturday morning cartoons, eating strange things for breakfast, cereal a lot, putting things on sandwiches that don't really, putting two things between two pieces of bread that probably don't really go. I don't know, sugar and peanut butter, shit like that. Like if the peanut butter wasn't sweet enough, like Skippy, Skippy peanut butter is not really all of that sweet. It's not sweet as Jif, so you might put some sugar on that shit. Or making a homemade donut. That's when you put some sugar and maybe some syrup on a piece of bread, ball it up, and eat it. Just the homemade donut, Maybe it's a homemade donut hole, but nonetheless, it'll get you through your childhood. Is it all playing, having all Saturdays, weekends, and summer vacations to just rip and run and play? Be going to the movies, going to the park, hanging out with your friends, playing sports, getting in trouble, playing games like Mother May I, red light, green light, catch a girl, get a girl, spin the bottle, hide and go seek, doorbell Dixie, and wherever you come from, you probably had different names for all of these things, but nonetheless, what is being a child? And like I said, y'all can call in. If you want to call into the show, 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak, and we can get it on up in here. And by the way, there is no censorship on this channel. There is no censorship. You can say whatever you want to say. I only demand that you are respectful in the chat. When you get on that telephone, you can kick it how you want to. I don't have no restrictions. You don't even have to respect me. But the chat, nah, you gotta respect that. Mama Latina says, I didn't get either. I was the oldest girl, so I had to take care of all the younger ones. And I got married early. Hold on. I got married early and had my own children, so it's been busy my whole life. I hear that. Yeah. So you feel like you never. Okay, if you never get your childhood, does that mean that you grab your adulthood with the quickness? Because we're gonna have some conversation about what it's like not to have an adulthood. Because most of us as adults don't even accept that. Like, I ain't trying to hear that excuse. No, you know better. All right, I see we have a call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 4605. Uh-oh, they disappeared. I guess I took too long. Caller with the last numbers 4605. If you want to call back in, please be my guest. And I promise I'll get to you faster next time. Sorry about that. TK Wright says, my childhood had its challenges, but I definitely had a childhood. I hear that. GE says, bedding, Hajj crust, embedded. Rest you. I don't know. What the hell you talking about? It's all good. Star Small says, Michael Jackson, or you said Michelle Jackson, but I think I know what you mean. Michael Jackson didn't have a normal childhood, but that doesn't excuse his sleepovers. Oh shit. Info Spot 411 says he was pushed into music, but I'm sure MJ went through good times and bad times as a kid, like everyone. That's what I say. Like when I think of somebody being robbed in their childhood, I'm thinking like, so you never got a chance to hang out with your friends, do shit. And I'm thinking like, shoot, as a young man, shit, you had access to, like getting some ass at a really young age. And they said Michael Jackson at like a 10 or 11 years old was already doing the nasty. They said he was doing the nasty. I don't know. I don't know. Even as an adult, he didn't look like he could do the nasty. But I mean, shoot, you can't always judge a book by its cover. You got to read that thing, and it has a lot of pages and chapters. You know what I'm saying? Don't skip the intro. Keith Tyler says, just giving your life as a child, and don't gotta. Oh wait. Just living your life as a child, and don't gotta worry about that dope shit that went on in life. Okay. All right, so we have a caller with the last numbers 4605. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you so much for holding. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
We got about the Girls and Boys Club.
Yeah, well, everybody didn't have a Boys and Girls Club around the way, and I didn't go to the club. I didn't.
What?
If you notice, you never saw me around there. I didn't go to the club.
Not when it was on Peach Street, neither.
I went to the club like one. I didn't go to the club. I went there a couple of times, few times, but I didn't go there. Think about it. You never saw me around the club. And this is my man. He's like a brother to me, man. And he's talking about the Girls and Boys Club that was around the way where we grew up. And that was a spot where most people in the neighborhood went, and the kids all knew each other, whatever. That's why I didn't know a lot of those cats. Now, I ain't around there. So what's good?
And how you feeling today?
Feeling like a real man should, man. You already know.
That's what's up. Yeah, but everybody have a childhood. It might not be what you want, but we all have one. Some of us had to work at a younger age. Some of us provide for ourselves. But the meaning of a childhood is that meaning that mom and dad's supposed to be in the house, because we all had that. Mom had to play the roles of mom and dad, or you just had a dad. So, but childhood is what you make of it, like your uncles, your aunts, and stuff. Everybody played their part. You didn't have to worry about paying a bill, knowing where rent was, knowing where a dollar come from. Yeah. Remember the penny candy store? That used to be the shit. Get a quarter, you was good to go.
Hold on. Go ahead, man. I don't even know how that happened.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, you milk me? Don't be milking me like that.
I wasn't muting you. You know what I mean? Like, I was moving. Don't even worry about it. Just go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead. Don't worry about me, son.
But anyway, yeah, man. Back in the day, man, we used to have to hustle to get our little truck change up. Penny candy stores was the shot. You know what I mean? The favorite, just working. Not worrying about a lot of stuff. That's the childhood, when you don't got to worry about shit. When you can lay down and go to sleep, and you ain't got to worry in the world. You wake up the next morning, eat your Captain Crunch cereal, get a shower, jump outside, play with your friends all day.
Let me ask you
something. What I mean?
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. I want you to think about this hard. Has there ever been a time in your life where you didn't have anything to worry about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because I don't remember a time in my life ever from birth that I didn't have anything to worry about. Like even from the time when I first started school at three or 4 years old, I had school to worry about. So I had to worry about getting up that day, getting dressed. When real school started, I had homework I had to do. We had to turn that shit in. You know what I mean? If you ain't turn it in, there were problems, mad problems. Now, adults might not look at that as being something to worry about, but as a child, in my world, doing homework, completing assignments, making it from one grade to the next grade, dealing with other kids, in your classrooms around the way, getting into fights, showing off and showing out for the girls. There were worries. I ain't have to pay no bills. I ain't have to pay no bills, but they were worries. I know that those kinds of things were on my mind.
Worried about your report card, had to go to Woolworth.
Hey,
go find a pen to
real shit. Worried about my report card, yeah. Because my parents wasn't here. My parents wasn't having that shit. They wasn't having.
Wasn't getting no ass whooping that.
Like, I knew other kids that could get suspended from school and all that kind of shit. My parents wasn't having that. I wasn't even good in school, but I had to act good. I had to make sure I didn't cross that line. So I mean, all children have little worries, and you got to think that some children have their parents to worry about, because some children are abused, some children are abandoned, some children have to take care of younger children even though they're not old enough to do that. Now imagine a 10-year-old having to take care of a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and possibly a newborn, maybe even a 3-year-old. I've seen it happen. It's wrong. They were latchkey kids, and maybe that's what we're talking about when we say that they didn't have a childhood. Well, they did have a childhood, but their childhood was spent taking care of other children. But they definitely had some worries, because they probably had to still go to school too. But the ones
exactly. I mean, I'm not gonna say we didn't have worries, but as back in the day, the parents try to make sure that we didn't worry about the everyday generation of what goes on in life, such as worrying about $1 or where it's coming from. But as we got older, like shit, when we went to Pickett, got older, Pickett turns you on to a whole new thing, got to see girls, got to see certain shit that you ain't ever see before. You know what I mean? Got to rock your Pumas and your fucking name belt, which you can't go head on with your Gazelles.
Well, let me ask you this. Because it seems like when people talk about somebody taking your childhood away from you, a lot of times they're talking about when you had to start working or taking care of somebody. Do you think that that's the main thing that takes away somebody's childhood?
Well, I don't think so, because at the end of the day, we still was a child. Like, we had a child, regardless of what. We was in the hood, and we was kids. Childhood. We was in the hood though, right?
Mm-hmm.
We was a kid, right?
Right.
Now, Bob, on some serious note, it could be a possibility. It's like a 50-50, you know what I mean? Like, some of us had to grow up really fast. Some of us had to do different things, you know what I mean? But remember, like, back in the day when your mom used to say, don't mess with that girl because she a fast-ass girl back in the day. Mm-hmm. That was one of the slogans, like, yo, they used to tell us things, and, like, this thing, like, yo, I remember cussing in front of my mom, and I was, like, 14 years old, and you talking about scared. Me and this girl was going at it, toe-to-toe, on the block, toe-to-toe. So it's like, I got away with it. I got away with cussing, like, am I an adult now? I'm 14. Like, am I an adult? Fuck no. No, he wasn't an adult. But I got away with it, though.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have different opinions on this thing. That's why I'm trying to get your perspective. So if somebody says that their childhood was stolen from them, or that they missed out on their childhood, what comes to your mind? What do you consider? What would you consider? What
growing
do you think? Yeah. Okay. Just say growing up fast. What do you think are some fast things? Okay. Wait a minute. What are some things that qualify somebody as growing up fast? What does that mean? Like, give me some some specific examples. Okay, go ahead.
Having a baby. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Taking care of your siblings. That's a good one. Taking care of your parents as they older. got to get a job, got to work and go to school and try to pull off good grades. Um, so when you've been robbed, you can't play double dutch. You can't play freeze tag. You're in the house learning how to cook. You're in the house learning how to make sure, you're changing your brothers and sisters. You got to walk the dog. You got to feed the cat. Change the bird cage. Find Dennis, he eating the cheese and doing different types of shit. So when you look at the whole scenario of the situation, it could be a lot of things that make you grow up too fast. It could be, you know what I mean?
Okay. No, I received that, and I agree. Like, but not just well, to add on to some of those things that might make a person have to grow up fast. Sometimes it's just the things that you've been exposed to. You may not have had to do anything, but you may have been exposed to some things that a child shouldn't be exposed to. Like maybe you grew up around a lot of violence. Imagine being like, imagine being like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, or whatever, and seeing somebody get killed. Witnessing a murder or a really violent act that could have killed somebody but didn't. Watching them get hurt like that. Human tragedy. Because these are the kind of things that soldiers go off to war and have to witness, and they don't come back being okay. So imagine being a child and witnessing that, and this is right here on your streets as a citizen. That might make a person grow up fast, or make them feel like they had to grow up fast, dealing with those types of situations, getting into a gang. Most gang members start when they're really young, but they do things that no child should be involved with. Selling drugs, witnessing witnessing parents and other loved ones, family members and things on drugs, or being forced
Or sexual assault.
being forced to sell or use yourself.
That's true. Or how about sexual assault? You know what I mean? I mean, boys and girls go through sexual assault back then. At that age, around that time of growing up. So, you had to be careful of that. Like I tell you a funny story. My cousin mom met this guy off a pen pal. He came home. He came home from jail to move in with my cousin. The boy put the husband out. The husband rang the doorbell. The boy threw the husband in shit and walked away. But meanwhile, that he was doing things to my cousin that wasn't suitable at that time, and that John took the wrong turn. So they moved off the block and they moved down north, down in Diamond Street Project.
Mm-hmm.
And she had enough, so she took the bottom of the refrigerator and beat her mom and the boy up with the bottom piece of the refrigerator.
Wow.
And it just caused chaos. And I remember my mom, because I got my ass whooped that day too. My mom was on the heavy side. She climbed 30. It was on the 16th floor. She climbed 16 flights of steps to beat my cousin. I was like, yo, that shit is gangster though. But I was like, the things that you go through, like my cousin was real tore up about that, being touched that at a young age and just doing things like, So let me ask you, do you think it's even where those boys and girls get touched at that around that age that's not supposed to, or do you just think it's just mostly girls?
Well, I think I know for a fact that it's boys and girls. I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't even say. I can't honestly. I can't even say which one has it more. Now, normally we think about women. Unfortunately, we think about women when we start talking about sexual assault, and there's probably a lot of proof to support that. But honestly, when I was listening to you bring up sexual assault, and I hate to say this, and y'all might disagree, but to me, sexual assault, I wouldn't say that grew you up fast. I think sexual assault is pretty much a child thing. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. I say that it's more of a child thing because most sexual assaults start when people are very, very young. not too many people that I know got touched, molested, or sexually assaulted when they were older. Not for the first time. It normally started really young. As fucked up as it is, it seems to be a youth thing. People get the party started early. Sometimes when you still in your Pampers. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But I wouldn't say that those are one of the things that grew you up fast. Honestly, I think it's one of those things that can stunt your growth. I think it can keep you from growing up or becoming at least a well-adjusted or a comfortable adult, because the nightmares of being sexual assaulted, the nightmares, the bad memories of being afraid and feeling like you had to be under somebody's negative power that way. That's definitely a child thing that sometimes extends into adulthood and never in a good way. But yeah,
I feel you on that one.
yeah,
I got one more for you.
Yeah,
Child
definitely
abuse.
same thing. That's why it's called child abuse. You know?
Or getting your ass whipped. Which one? Because I think the clear people got it messed up when they messed up on these kids. But though, I think when you go home and beat up on your kid, that's child abuse. When your mom and dad tell you not to jump on that bump bed and you jump and break that bump bed and get your ass whooped, that's something totally different.
Well,
I mean, look how it turned out.
I'm going to say I'll say this. Don't get it twisted. White people pretty much invented child abuse, and that's not even a diss. But all of this acting like, maybe they invented timeout too. But I know white people who got their ass whooped, and most of the ones I know got their ass whooped. So all of that, hey, Timmy, no, please don't chase me with the knife anymore. Please stop acting like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. No, I don't know. That's the TV white people. The real white people, yeah, they whoop ass and they believe in it, especially down south. They don't play that shit. So now when you start talking about, see, there's a difference between child abuse and getting the ass whooping. Like, just like what you were talking about, jumping on the bed and breaking the bunk bed and you got your ass whooped for it. I don't consider that to be an abuse unless the punishment didn't fit the crime. Like if you broke the bed or damaged the bed, because how much you gonna break the bed? You probably only weigh about 65 pounds. A bed should really be able to take it. But let's say something goofed, and your mom or your dad whipped you with not just a belt, or they got out a shoe and extension cord, and you know what I'm saying, they humiliated you and left all kinds of welt marks, and just like beat you into submission. Like, that's abuse. But if you know damn well that you disobeyed or you misbehaved or you did something that even you don't think is right and you got punished for it, you can't turn around and say that that's abuse. So we have to make sure that we keep the lines clearly drawn between what's abuse and what discipline is. Now, I don't choose to handle any of my anger problems with violence, especially when it comes to children. But it's not like I don't believe in corporal punishment sometimes. You know what my dad used to do to me when I was, a little too hyper or getting on his nerves? He had long nails. He had long nails, and he had this death grip, especially for somebody that's only like 5, 6, 7 years old. And he would grab my stomach. And I don't know if you've ever had, if you under 4 feet tall, you get a handful of stomach. Well, you know, having your core gripped up by a grown man, you know what I'm saying? Like it stops everything. Look, it stops you from talking, moving, almost stops you from thinking. And as I started to calm down, he would loosen the grip. He didn't have to say shit. He never whooped me with a belt. He never had to spank me. But that handful of stomach let me know, because I could feel his power. Like, yo, he could literally grab me by the stomach and move me around like I was a cursor. This motherfucker got me on a mouse pad. You know what I'm saying? But he knew how to do certain things to exhibit his authority, and it worked.
It definitely do that. I mean, like I said, you know, we all grow up. You know what I mean? Like adulthood. John said adulthood too. So how you take somebody adulthood? Wait, you alright?
Oh shit. Okay, thank you. Hold on a second.
The people that's still on, he had to walk away for a second. Just stand by, give us a couple of seconds. We don't know what happened to him, but he alright. As my man say, floss, you know, he'd be right back. Talk to one yourself.
Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Well, what happened in an unforeseen turn of events left my damn lights on in the car. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know. I don't even know how I did that, but I did. And my shit gonna be.
I thought you was getting a special delivery.
Well, no. What is it? 1:39 and 1:59 in the morning. Nah, ain't nothing being delivered. All right, hold on, man. I see we have another caller on the line. Caller with the last number is 0297. Hold on, let's get him in here. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Appreciate you holding. What's on your mind this evening? What's good?
Hey, well, this is Ed from Detroit. I'm InfoSpot 411. That's my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's what's up.
Wanted to call in.
Yeah, I recognize.
First, I just want to, say, I really enjoy your live stream. There's just so much garbage on YouTube, from the people all getting in on the act with these black magic tarot cards, wanting instant payments, the people smoking some pot and talking about a bunch of nothing. At least you got, interesting conversation. You're entertaining what you're doing with your show, and you're doing a great job with your live stream. I'm really enjoying it. Just to let you know first.
I appreciate that. I really do.
But on the topic, real quick, we were talking corporal punishment and childhood. I think a lot of things in life, there's just good and bad with it. I do think that there was some good. When you talk back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s, and the high schools and some of the middle schools, they get the paddle and the kids got out of hand. But then you also want to be careful too. Is I'm not really being on some other adult putting out physical punishing my kid. Let me, decide that factor. And then sometimes too, you get the wrong individual, and things could really go haywire. But granted, too, the big difference, I think, it's been a lawsuit happy society compared to what it was 20, 30 years ago. Why you don't see that too much.
Facts. Well, let me ask you this. First of all, I want to thank you again for calling in. But the other part of this, because the show is no childhood versus no adulthood, and eventually, and there's no better time than the present. Then I want to ask, okay, so we know some of the things that people say about having a childhood taken away from them, whether they had to take on responsibilities that probably shouldn't be given to a child, or if they had to take care of somebody, or if they had to start making money, or witness all kinds of things that adult situations that children shouldn't be a part of. But when we start talking about having no adulthood, what comes to my mind, and I want to see what you think about this, and I want to get your opinion on it, and the other caller as well. When it comes to someone saying they don't know how to be an adult because maybe their parents kept them so close. I know parents that are so protective of their children that they keep them from being able to learn how to do things on their own. They want to pretty much navigate everything, every part of their lives growing up. So they may not have let them go outside and play with other children. They may not have ever been able to go away, like to camp or a sleepover, or they may have never been able to do anything that their parents didn't introduce them to. So, sometimes this can stop a person from ever having to face any adult adversity. When we start talking about responsibilities, for example, this could be a situation where a man may not know how to take care of his children, or may refuse to take care of his children because he never was shown the responsibility of having to make the decisions that every adult has to make, or everything was always paid for him, so he doesn't know how to pay for anybody else. You would think he would make the connection. If somebody paid everything for him, then he would have to pay for somebody else. But if he's never gotten a job or had to take care of anything, hands down, where maybe his parents bailed him out of every situation that he got into that was difficult for him. It could have been rent, it could have been children, it could have been relationships, it could have been anything. Your car breaks down, you don't have to put it in the shop. Your parents will put it in the shop for you, pay for it to get out, or buy you a new car, instead of you having to maybe use a bus pass for a while, or do the things that an adult has to do in order to make ends meet, or to make it to the next day. So when you hear, or when you think about somebody not knowing how to be an adult, or not having an adulthood, or the tools to be an adult, what are some of the things you think about?
With me, probably my biggest thing I think about, I'll just speak on myself, was after I got out of high school in '93, I graduated. I enlisted in the U.S. Army, and one of the best things I got out of that is the discipline and responsibility. I can't lean on no one else and use excuses like I did when I was a kid, or have my parents bail me out. When you have to be up at 6 in the morning, you're up at 6 in the morning. Your shoes, your stuff's got to be lined up with the bedpost. It better be lined up with the bedpost. You know, you got to be a certain place, certain time. There's stuff that's expected of you. If they say, hey, you're sweeping the stairwells tonight, there's going to be consequences if you don't. Excuses don't fly. So to me, as well as that loss of freedom, I was told what I can do, when I can do it. I'm not advocating the military is the best thing for everybody. It isn't. But for me, that's when I it kicked in. You know, I'm in kind of adulthood. I'm facing some responsibilities, and it you know, some of those things I still have today. But I got the discipline and responsibility out of the Army. That was one thing for me.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Now, I agree that going into the military, any branch, will definitely bring the responsibility and the duty out of you, and that'll happen just with the basic training. But what about parents? Okay. One thing I left out was that some parents don't want their children to grow up. They want to keep them. You know, they may have problems with abandonment, or they don't want to empty the nest. You know what I mean? Maybe they have loneliness problems, whatever. But there are some parents out here that don't want their children to grow up. You know how you may have children, or whatever. You say, you know, you'll always be my baby, or whatever. But some parents really live that out and don't allow their children to not be their baby. So they might even manipulate situations to keep them right there with them. Anything ranging from begging them to stay around, to pretending to be sick in order that they will not stray away far. You know? So, you know, that's one thing, or some things that may stop a person from ever really being an adult, because they can't get away. They can't get out of the nest. They the bird right there in the nest. They can't get out of it. You ever think about anything like that? And Keith, you could Keith left. But what do you think about that? Have you ever seen anybody parent that way? O297? I mean, info. You there? Oh, everybody gone. Everybody gone. They left me. I can't be an adult this way. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, I don't know if they got cut off, but if y'all got cut off, y'all can call back in 319-527-6199. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We good? We good on the stream though? We good? We good? Roo Glizzy do? Wow. Okay, all right. Good looking out, info spot. Yeah, you can call back in and start small. I see you talking. That's what's up. Rack Paints. OZ Aquatics. My people's MKO. Thanks for coming through. Mud Bogs. What's good? And let me see. Just trying to make sure everybody get acknowledged. Just trying to make sure. Angela, what's good? Richard Wilkins, all up in the house. What's going on, Richard? Thanks for coming through. But yeah, oh wait a minute, I think I missed somebody. That's all. Oh yeah, Mitchell Cole with the LL Cool J. All right. Jat Hussein, Free Palestine. I agree. All right. So let's go. Yeah, man, you know, when we start talking about this topic, it's all kinds of things can go through your head about what it means to have your childhood taken away from you, what it means to have your adulthood taken away. Like I said, this adulthood being taken away from you thing can go a whole lot of different places. Wait a minute. I see we have another caller on the line. Caller with the last number 7692. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening? Or is that you, Info Spot?
No. Hey, what's up, son? It's Richard Wilkins.
What up, my peoples? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm feeling like a real man should. You already know. So what do you think about this topic tonight? What do you know about having your childhood stripped from you, taken away from you, like you were playing football and now you had a ball no more? What's good?
I was definitely forced to grow up super duper quickly. I had to start providing for my family and taking care of things and taking responsibility at a young age. And then that kind of flip-flopped on me as I progressed later through life. Like whenever I was super young, I had to take on a lot of really intense adult responsibilities. But it was never like stuff around the house. It was always stuff pertaining to, but outside of the house. Like I had to go out and try to make money, collect cans, cut people's grass, do all that type of stuff because my dad, all the money he'd make, he'd go and spend it on alcohol. So we'd never have enough for this, that, or the other, and I wanted to have enough for that, so I'd go out and do those things, and it kind of robbed my childhood, but it also robbed the home life perspective from me. And as I've grown up, I've come to realize that there was a lot of stuff that I didn't learn how to do that I should have, like basic stuff like laundry, doing the dishes, all that stuff was robbed from me because I was spending so much time on survival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely something that a child should not have to be exposed to, or something that they have to do. You know, normally when you're a child, you are learning. You're just learning about money. You know what it pays for. You know how you should save it. Some parents teach their kids how to write a check, or how to open up a checking or a savings account or something like that. Normally it's a savings account, because what is a child writing a check for, right? But
Right.
But yeah, when you are put in a position where you not only have to go out and make money, but you have to learn how to break it down. You have to learn how to itemize it. You have to learn, how to prioritize the money that you make. For a young adult, not even a young adult, I'm talking about a child, 10, 11, 12 years old. That's a lot. That's a lot. And to have to do that day in and day out, for, just like you said, to concentrate on survival. Yeah. Survival is not something that a child should have to concentrate on. I definitely agree with that. That's rough.
I think some of that has prepared me for my future as well in certain aspects. So like a lot of those survival skills and money saving and that certain type of stuff has prepared me for adult life in one way. But then my relationships with other people, my ability to connect with people, and my ability to do simple, basic tasks, to sit down and have fun, has been stifled because of that.
I understand that. Most children growing up get into trouble. They jump from one roof to another, or break windows, or like they get into mischief. Like peer pressure, all kinds of stuff. They play baseball, and baseball breaks a window, and we have to pay for it some kind of way. Things like that. So, yeah. Now, but when we start talking about adulthood, and when we start talking about growing up fast, what I'm thinking is that we have to start thinking about what it means to be an adult overall, because there's one way to be an adult with some people, and there's another way to be an adult with other people, and it can become a judgment call. Like, what I might think is an adult, you may not agree with, and what you may think is adult, I might think is too extreme or maybe narrow-minded. For example, I normally associate, a lot of adults associate adulthood with paying bills. Sometimes you hear people say it. You know, all I do is, all you do when you grow up is pay bills all day, or you have to work all the time and you have to pay bills. That's what being an adult is. As soon as people start talking about the fun things that you do as an adult, a lot of people will reduce that to immaturity. Like if you want to just get away, or if you don't want to work all the time, or you just want to do enough to get by, you know, they say that's immature. That's not being an adult. That's not what adults do. Adults pretty much eat whatever they're fed, or they take whatever they're given, or they don't fight the power. They pretty much roll with the punches and try to make the best of it. What do you think?
I think it's finding a balance. I think it's finding a balance of taking responsibility, but then also not treating life too seriously. I think sometimes caught up in we get caught up in the seriousness of being an adult, but we never bask in the freedoms that adulthood grants us and the childlike properties that we still have that we haven't explored, especially whenever we grow up too fast.
Yeah, growing up too fast. Growing up too fast. Yeah.
One thing that you talked to another caller about a little bit was parents that establish a dependency with their child where they won't let their child leave the house, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've necessarily got that, but I do have that dynamic between me and my mother. She has a seizure disorder and has had multiple back surgeries and neck surgeries, so I'm kind of her caretaker. And I'm 22 years old, you know, I'm looking to get out of the house and do my own thing, but at the same time, I feel a certain obligation. I've been with her through physical and mental abuse. I've been with her through these surgeries. I've been with her with her seizure condition. I don't know of anyone who's going to take my place to help her out. So I just, I guess, pass that off to you and to chat for their opinions on it, because I really don't know. I'm kind of stuck on that one.
Yeah, that describes a lot of people. I mean, like, I deal with an elderly parent myself, and it's tough when you're really worried about their well being all the time. You know what I mean? It's stressful. It's definitely an adult thing, but there are some children who have to do that too. Like, I've known children who grew up and pretty much had to take care of their grandmother or whatever because she may have been disabled. Now, financially, she may have been providing for the grandchild, but the grandchild pretty much had to be the caretaker at a very young age. So, you know, it's a tough situation. Yeah.
That's how it is with me and my mom. There's like almost a codependency where as much as she needs me to take care of her, I need to take care of her to feel right in my mind.
Right. Yeah. That really is tough. But there's so many different factors that you have to take into consideration when we start talking about not having a childhood, or being robbed of a childhood, or having to grow up too fast, or not having adulthood. Because we probably agree on most of the stuff about not having a childhood, but when we associate adulthood with responsibility, we know that we all have responsibility. How we take care of that responsibility or let it carry out is different from one person to another. But the cookie cutter thing is basically pay your bills and keep your promises. Those are the things that adults are supposed to do. And when we fall down on those jobs, yeah, people usually let us know that it's not appreciated.
Well, I'm a believer in the concept that whatever your internal striving goal is should probably be the thing that you prioritize. So if you're homeless on the street and you're happy doing that, some people would look negatively upon that because you're a burden on society. But as long as you're happy where you're at, I guess. And as long as I'm not paying for it, as long as it's not my tax dollars going towards the subsidy, or if I know my tax dollars are going there for the right reasons. But like, it just, there's some people that get so caught up in the rat race that they wind up getting $1 million and then they want $1 billion and then they get $1 billion and they want $1 trillion.
Right.
So that's where I'd say that balancing kind of plays out at, is like, how much of your life do you want to be consumed by the adult responsibilities, and then how much of your life are you going to allocate to your own enjoyment, your own entertainment, well-being?
Okay.
Because why else are we working? Why else are we working? Why else are we making all this money if we don't get to enjoy it?
Well, the thing is about making a lot of money is that 9 times out of 10 your lifestyle goes up with the money. So there's struggle at every financial area. You know, people who make 5 figures have 5-figure problems normally. Some of them have 6-figure problems, and that's a real big problem. And 6-figure people have 6-figure problems. Some of them have 7-figure problems, which makes it a big problem. So I can understand how somebody or anybody could be uncomfortable regardless of what stage that they're in, because if you keep spending until you get a hold on not spending just because you have it, then you're going to have problems. And that's the thing about, that's one of the things about when we talk about not having an adulthood. If somebody has paid for everything for you your whole life, it's going to be harder for you to manage your money. It's going to be hard for you to understand that when you spend to the point where you don't have anymore, then you can't spend anymore. Especially if all of your during your childhood, every time you ran out of money, somebody refreshed you. Somebody rejuvenated your bank account. Somebody gave you more money. Somebody made sure that you were taken care of. That somebody made sure that your bills were paid. Somebody made sure that you had plenty of money, more money to spend. It's going to be hard for you to understand how come you have to budget and you have to pay things on time, and that nobody's going to be there to take care of you. I had a friend of mine from college, and he kind of went through this situation. His parents spoiled him, and I don't think. Let me say first of all, I don't think that there's anything wrong with spoiling your kids. I do think that there's something wrong with making your kids into a brat. And a brat to me is when you are not only spoiled, but you act crazy when you don't get what you want. You know, if you want something and somebody tells you that you have to wait for it or work for it or no, and you throw a tantrum, that's what a brat is. So I just wanted to clear that up. But my friend that I went to school with, his parents bailed him out of everything. He flunked out of school, have to take classes in non-degree status. They took up the slack. He didn't work. They made sure he had pocket money. Not just pocket money, money to go out and drink and all kinds of shit. And they were not wealthy people. They were regular working class people, middle class, working class. And he didn't have a car. They got him a car. And they partially, I think, bought him a car because he used to steal their car all the time. So it was like, all right, well, if we give him a car, then he won't have to steal. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. But this is how they raised him. And so he wasn't used to not being bailed out all the time. So when his parents passed away, he was lost. He was lost. And we knew that when this happened, when we used to tell them all the time, if anything ever happens to your parents, man, you are ass out because you are codependent. And he used to blow us off because you know how people blow you off when you kind of assess their situation and let them know or give them a warning. They think that you're hating on them. And he used to say that kind of shit. But what we said came true, unfortunately, because his parents were really very nice people, good people, or whatever. But they spoiled him to a fault, and he was lost after they were gone. And in my opinion, he's still kind of lost to this day. He even had children. They took care of those their grandchildren as parents while he was. I mean, he was an able-bodied male, but it happens. So they sort of robbed him of his adulthood, or stunted his growth or his ability to become an adult. You know, besides doing whatever he wanted to do, because that's what adults are supposed to be able to do. They're supposed to be able to do whatever they want to do, and when it doesn't work out that way, yeah, when they have to actually follow directions or respect authority, they find difficulty in that, because they're used to being bailed out. They're used to having a nice soft place to land. They're used to having a safety net, and you can stunt your children's growth by doing that. So, listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in. Once again, it's always a pleasure, and you're always welcome to call in anytime. Great conversation, great examples, and once again, like, I appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I hope everybody has a good evening. I hope you have a good evening too.
Thank you. I'll holler at you. All right. Good stuff, y'all. We about to do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. But yeah, man, no childhood versus no adulthood. By the way, you know what? I never said this during the show. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. And we are talking about no childhood versus no adulthood. Maybe many of us didn't know that there was a such thing as not having an adulthood, but there can be. There can be. I know parents who have taken care of their children as if their children were special needs children, and they weren't. Stunted their growth, especially if the child didn't rebel. Most children rebel when they get to a certain age and their parents are still trying to control everything or navigate everything. And some don't push back. Why? Because they're not only controlling everything, but they're paying for everything too. And some people would rather keep that gravy train going. All right. All right, man. But I appreciated you, Info Spot. Definitely appreciated you. Cheryl says, my cousin was cougarized, raped, molested, whatever else you may call it, at the age of 12 and 13. He was a father. What the fuck? Their family chose to sweep things under the rug. He dropped out to care for his son. Wow. Bad story right there. And that's an older woman to a young man. We don't always, it seems like there's a double standard when it comes to that. We don't judge that the same way, and it's not fair. I'm sorry about that happened to your cousin. Stacy says, I think you're saying as an adult, I think everything should be on balance. Okay, cool. My family worked hard and played hard. Okay. All right. Cheryl says, I admire him because he got a job, went back to school, got custody of his son, and he's doing very well today. Always trying to better
90 seconds.
Always trying to better himself and his immediate family. Yeah, good stuff right there. Stacey says you can cripple your children by doing so much for them too. Yeah, definitely. You can stop them from becoming an adult. Shout out to my man, my people's pizza. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. And Joe and Savage Boy Angel. Savage Boy. And my people's son of Soweto. My brother from another mother cross the pond, baby. Thanks for coming through. And Roo Glizzy Doo. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. Wanted to make sure. Start smoking. Saying I think support is the most important thing for kids. Find out what they love and support them. I knew my mother. I mean, I knew a mother who drove her kid all the way from Florida to Woodward, PA, to skate. He was 280 pounds. Wow. How old is he? Now he has his own shoe. He is a professional skater. His name is Jamie Foy. Thumbs up for that. All right. Mama Latina says it's hard to have someone do something when they never learn how to. So it's good to have some of those tools at an early age. I agree. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 2nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My people's Latanya Foster, happy birthday to you, and also Stacy Carver, comedian Stacy Carver, happy birthday, my brother, and Annie Sophia Henderson, happy birthday to you, and last but not least, Yusuf Jackson, happy birthday to you, my brother. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 2nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Having been robbed of your childhood, I don't know. There are lots of ways that we can assess that, judge that, grade that, even, decide whether it's true, whether it's false, whether it's valid or invalid. I imagine that if you think about if you look at being a child from a standpoint of being in total innocence, then yeah, a lot of children have been robbed of their childhood, unfortunately. If you look at childhood as a period in your life of learning and growth and discovery, then probably nobody gets robbed of their childhood. We all have to learn and grow and discover. As a child, you question a whole lot of things. I used to hear rappers always say, I've been through it all, man. I've seen it all. And they're saying that they've seen it all because they've been through so much negativity, so much of the bad stuff. But that's not all. The world is not always a bad place. From your perspective, it can be the greatest place in the world, or it can be the worst place in the world. When we talk about being an adult and being robbed of your adulthood, there are some instances where parents do not want their children to grow up. They will get in the way of that happening, and they have their own reasons for it. And those are some of the things that we have to take into consideration. We're all going to get there one day. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through and checking out the show. I appreciate y'all so much. We will be back tomorrow at 1 a.m. for another daily Go Get 'Em Business show. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, love y'all right back to life. So we gonna get on out of here. All right, so Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here first. Yeah, if worst comes to first, said we gonna get you out of here now. I'ma show you right. Okay, let me see here. Hold on. All right. Oh shoot. What did I do? What have I done? All right, let's put it here. No. All right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to move this. I'm gonna drop it in here. Drop it. There you go. I guess I wasn't rocking it right. All right. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. All right. Let's take off. We can clock out now, y'all. Clock out. Take off 1. Take off 2. Let me take this necklace off of you. I said take off 1. Take off 2. Let me take this necklace off of you. All right. Y'all can clock out. I see y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Bring your hard hat and your steel toes. We're going to be working. Work. You ain't got to do a lot. All you got to do is listen and learn and feedback so we can all listen and learn from you. All right? Peace, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel.